In Torbay, we've got a number of cycle routes already in existence, but they're not proving to be as popular as the general public would like them to be, or indeed what perhaps the council are hoping, that to get more people cycling and walking throughout the bay. And so the central English government have got this £2 billion fund available, of which Torbay Council want to get around 46 million. And so the forum has been set up across all the different groups and societies in Torbay to try and get a consensus as to what that infrastructure should really be, and to make sure that what we engage with Torbay Council to try and give them the answers that they hope that we want to have on our streets. So it's trying to engage with the council on a much more positive level than maybe has been done in the past. And yes, that's how we see the forum.
Just tell me through, some of the sort of key areas where you feel attention needs to be made.
So some of the changes we're looking at is to implement some segregated cycleways and pathways, meaning that the cyclists and the e-bicycles will be separate from the pedestrians, and the pedestrians will be separate from the cycles and the car users. And what we would like to see is an integrated, segregated cycleway and pathways, all from Torquay all the way through to Brixham. But it's a long plan. It's 5 years, and what we are feeling in the forum is that we need to make sure we put in a really good infrastructure, as opposed to numerous bits of infrastructure which don't really tie up. So that's the goal behind the forum, is to try and achieve that. So like in Torquay, we can there isn't any conflict between the motorists or the cyclists and the pedestrians. And gradually over the years, as we approach 2030, we'll start to see people hopefully going for their bike or going out of the door to have their walk, rather than jumping immediately into a car for a 5 or 10 minute journey. Because I think it's something like 60% of journeys are less than 5 kilometres, so like 3-4 miles. And so it's that, trying to make people think, well, it's just as quick to walk or it's just as quick to cycle rather than to jump into the car. And we do know that come 2030, petrol prices will be, and diesel prices will be, quite a lot different to what they are now, and it's trying to prepare for that future. So today, what we're doing today, the idea, we're gathering a number of cyclists today. So we're fundamentally, we're principally looking at the cycling aspect of what was called a Bay Trail, Section 1 for the Beach Trail North. So it's Beach Trail North. Section 1 is what we're looking at today with a number of people, and this will go from where we're standing now outside the Harvester in Beacon Quay, and it will go all the way to Torquay railway station. So it's an ideal route for tourists and for locals as well, and we're going to go along the proposed route and try and identify those bits and pieces that we think this needs to be changed. And that's the way I see that the infrastructure plan that's been nearly approved by the council, I see as a framework, and it's then incumbent upon the local population to say, well, this is great, this is what we need. We want cycleways, we want pathways, we want them to be segregated, but we don't quite agree with how this bit is going to be done here. Have you thought? And there's still time to make those right, see if we can make some different decisions which will really help these cycleways and pathways be implemented that everyone can agree with. And there's always going to be people who may not. It's going to obviously impact some people more than others, but it's trying to get that overview that we're trying to get away from from where we are at the moment, because it can't carry on.